Hi guys, it is Ascended Spartan here, and today we are going to be actually doing a talk. There will be Halo going on in the background, but I have turned it down just so you guys can hear me. Basically what we're going to talk about is I managed to get my hands on the Halo TV show. I actually got somebody who had Paramount Plus to let me watch it. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna go through and sort of
Please don't die.
just talk about it while Halo's in the background, because I can't just talk and do absolutely nothing else. So we're gonna talk about just episode 1. Break it down, kind of go over what I liked and didn't like.
We're going home.
As soon as our friend here calms down.
Welcome back, Chief. I rerouted what little power I had into your suit.
So, episode 1 kind of focuses on the insurrectionists. So you have, your first episode is set on Madrigal.
Look up.
And then,
Now let's look down.
sorry. So, while they're on Madrigal, you have an insurrectionist camp.
Let's try right.
And it's a pretty good setting. I mean, they have, like, I think 150, 200 people there. And they come under attack by the Covenant. At first, they don't think it's the Covenant. They think it's the UNSC. Because their people just went absolutely crazy. But, one of the things that I found that was kind of painful to watch was the insurrectionists. No offense to the designers of the studio, but they went with an AK platform as an insurrectionist weapon. Now, I get it. The AK is typically seen as the insurrectionist and terrorist sort of identifier. But the AK platform in the show doesn't even represent a quarter of the power that an AK actually has. The elites shrug off entire magazines, even without shields.
Everything.
And it's crazy. I mean, you've got these AK platforms that are capable of firing very powerful ammunition. And there's so much as just not even phasing it.
We need to run.
I need a weapon.
Then we also have
This is all I've got.
the appearance of the elites. I like how they did the elites. They sort of mixed Halo 2's elites with the bigger, bulkier frame of what 4 and 5 introduced. So, those were nice. I really did like them. But, that being said, I don't like what they did with the armor. The armor kind of annoys me a little bit. It's still that sort of sleek armor that Halo did have, but it's not as sleek. It doesn't look futuristic. It looks like they killed a friggin' a giant space beetle and then wore its armor.
You have one bullet against an entire army.
So
Do on your own.
I told you. It's enough.
So I see.
I don't know though. So then you have the new Keys. We're introduced to Miranda Keyes. Everyone knows Miranda Keyes from the Halo series if you played the games and if you read the books. Miranda,
I'll buy us some time.
not only is she in this timeline, we'll call it the Silver timeline. So in the Silver timeline, Miranda is a researcher. She's a scientist who is researching, like, Covenant technology. And her aspect is that her research in the Covenant technology has allowed her to sort of find her way into a new niche, I guess you could say. So instead of being a captain like her father,
All of it.
She is a,
How will you get back?
I'll figure something out.
yeah, she's not like her father. She's not a captain anymore. She is 100% a doctor. And I don't know how much I like that, because as a doctor, her character is, you almost don't know what she's going to do
Eliminate.
later.
Chief, whatever you're planning to do, do it fast.
And it's very strange, because not only is Keyes still a ship captain, but he is a leading figure in the UNSC, like, he's still recognizable. And, the new Keyes as well. Sorry, but as a longtime fan of the Halo series, Captain Keyes, he's a stoic older white man in the games and the books. That's how he's described. In the Silver timeline, Keyes is a grizzled elder African American male. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Actually, I kind of like how the actor plays Keyes. Because he fits Keyes' role really well. He's got the poise and he's got the chops for it. So I actually do really like the way that Silver cast Keyes. Now, again, I'm actually playing while I'm recording this, so I apologize for the pauses and stuff. But then you have the first introduction of Halsey. Now, the introduction to Halsey, in my opinion, is done hilariously. Pretty much what they do is they go, this is Dr. Halsey. She is the old white woman of the group. Which, that's exactly what she was in the regular campaign. She is an aging white woman. But one thing that they did different was now Halsey and her got married. Which we did kind of have an idea that Keyes respected her, but not in that way. So you have him who's doing this. Keyes is now married to Halsey. And it's questionable in my opinion. I don't know how they're gonna do it. It seems like just a quick put together plot point. But then we sort of meet Parengoski. Now Parengoski is the head of Oni, and she doesn't like Halsey. She still doesn't like Halsey, so there's nothing changed there. But now the hatred almost seems more like a rivalry. So I don't know how much I like that. The Flash clones, that the whole Flash clone discussion. Parengoski hated the Flash clones in the first place, and then she hated the Flash clones in this new one, so that they're pretty well in line. But she shows a very definitive disdain for them. So, and then you have, I guess the easiest breakdown will be that while Halsey plays her normal role as the leaders of the Spartan-II program, Parengoski is Oni, but so far as I know, Parengoski has more, I guess it's the, God, I don't know how to describe it, because yes, Oni is her baby. It's her, she's the director of Oni. But at the same time, even though she's the director of Oni, she doesn't hold that same authority. And I hate to say that, because the actress that plays her tries her hardest. And I feel bad, but she doesn't convey the same amount of authority as somebody with Parengoski would have. Then we go and we have the introduction to High Charity. Oh my gosh, High Charity is gorgeous in the show. Absolutely gorgeous. The design is well done. It looks futuristic. It stays true to the canon material. It is oh so good. I love it. I can never say enough about it. It's great. What I don't know about the new High Charity is the way it looks. It has very human aspects. So the human aspect that I mean to it is you have a sprawling metropolis. So it's a very flat, planar existence with just regular high-rise towers. It isn't a leveled city like the original High Charity. You don't see the various levels. You don't see, like, the barges going up and down, the hover chairs from the San Shayum, the prophets. And it's missing the verticality that I knew and grew up with as a Halo fan, reading the books and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I admit that I miss about it. Another thing that I miss about it would be the color. It's very gray and blue. It's gray. It's not like the purple that we see, like the Covenant purple that we get to know from the games. So we have this new High Charity. I like the way it is. It's designed well. I can't throw grenades. But we get this sort of setting. And then we're introduced to a new character entirely. Now, this new character is somebody that I personally do not like the introduction of. I really don't like why they did this. They added a human raised by the Covenant. That right there makes me kind of question why. I kind of can see, because they tied her with the Prophet of Mercy. Except Mercy isn't merciful. So she's there, but her character just doesn't make sense to me as a longtime Halo fan. I can't wait to see what it evolves into, but to me as a Halo fan, it doesn't make any sense. Then you have the whole thing with Quan, the girl that was captured, and is one of the only survivors of the Madrigal attack. So you have the survivor of Madrigal. You have Quan. She's the only survivor. And I think, okay, it's fine, but Chief on the planet, him and Quan, or he touches a relic, Quan comes with him, you know, she's the only survivor, she's taken with them. But Chief and the other Spartans of Silver Team, who I will get to in a minute, they don't make any sense. Because the way they describe the warrior that escapes them is a Kaiden. Now, Kaidens are the leaders of Sangheili houses in the lore. Their house is Kaiden. Why we have a Kaiden warrior on the battlefield isn't really introduced yet. Plus, I don't know if they're tying the Kaiden to Thelvadam, who is our arbiter in the games, our sort of pseudo protagonist. he's a kaiden of his house. He's a House Vadam. So, for him to be connected to the name, maybe that's what they were trying to do, maybe not, I don't know. But then we have... the attempt to get the insurrectionist girl on their side. And she basically goes, Madrigal gets independence or there's no deal. Which, it shows the insurrectionists really hate the UNSC, yes, but at the same time, it's like, you just witnessed an alien attack. This is not propaganda, you literally have seen it for yourself. You've watched them butcher your entire, your family, your friends, everything. You've watched it happen. This is not some, oh, give us independence kind of thing. You're trying to leverage a situation that you shouldn't in order to get something that you want. And for that reason, I don't like her character right there. Her character to me seems like it's too forcing. She's almost ignorant of the fact that she's a sole survivor, literally the last one of her people on the from that part of the planet. I don't think she understands fully what she is saying or doing, and even if she does, the whole plot point then would be, my planet gets independence or I don't tell you anything. And no. To me, that's a weak character design, and Quan is, unless she sort of shapes into something different, I'm not going to see myself really liking her as a character. So if she doesn't shape up into something different, it's probably going to be a not very well-liked character. But then we get a weird kind of cheeky chief with, she asks him, what do you like to eat? He goes, nuts, microchips, or nuts, circuits, and microchips. Because he looks like a robot. And we don't have a humorous chief in the regular continuity, so at the same time, it's sort of weird for me to hear Chief crack a joke. Because he does do it, don't get me wrong. He does crack jokes. But he's never cracked a joke openly in front of not only a civilian, but an insurrectionist civilian. So that one took me off guard. Not really sure how much I like that. As we go through, then basically he goes on and we learn the backstory of why Quan hates him. Quan dislikes him because he killed her mother. And the whole thing that Chief says is, I was told that your mother was, something to do with a political rally or an agenda against a bomb threat that was made by the insurrectionists. So it almost seems like she might have been used by the insurrectionists for political gain, or it was the UNSC purposefully pulling Oni spook crap and having the lack of, I guess, humanity to commit such a heinous act. But as we're going through and learning that, Article 72 comes in, which is the termination of Quan. And Chief doesn't listen. He starts disabling cameras. Parangoski's confused. What is going on with your Spartan? Why is he not executing the order? Halsey believes that I think she suspects it might be influence from the relic, because he has had memories come back of a childhood that should have been locked away in a psyche. So she tries to emphasize the value of the Cortana project. Parangoski says no. They try to cut the air in the Condor, but Chief and Quan stop it. Quan doesn't like him, hates him, and then he removes his helmet. That right there was something that really irked me. Chief has always been a faceless character.
These pelicans nearly on board and the power's still out.
So to have Chief remove his helmet is basically just us all of a sudden getting a sort of this isn't... Silver is a lot more liberal with revealing his face. Granted, I will give them credit. They found an actor that looks like how Chief is described. Simple, brown hair. He's got stubble when he's older. So he does look the part of Chief. I give them that. I don't like his voice. I don't. If anything, I sort of like the voice of one of the other Spartans in Silver Team. But then Soren Protocol is enacted. We're going to talk about the flight of pelicans. Instead of broadswords, instead of long swords, instead of sabers, you had so many combat-focused fighter craft, and you escort it to the ground with dropships. I'm just saying. So, Soren Protocol's enacted, and I guess Soren 6'6", I believe he is the Spartan that they're referencing, and he is the Spartan that betrayed the UNSC, which is our first Spartan to ever betray the UNSC. And then, we've got the showing that Halsey still has authority over the Spartans. Now, this is cool. I like it. The authority that she possesses over the Spartan-IIs shows. Because even though they get the order from Parengoski, the head of Oni, like, toughest of the tough, high brass levels of personnel, she walks up and goes, "You secure, Chief. You don't listen to Parengoski." And the Spartans do exactly that. That, to me, goes to show that the Spartans still have unity. They still see Halsey as the higher authority figure. They still have that level of camaraderie that we got in the books, in the games. I mean, Blue Team on a drop of a hat went AWOL for Chief. These three Spartans of Silver Team, who I think are trying to fill in original characters, they on the drop of a hat, just, they take a look at Halsey, say, okay, we're good, we understand, and then they go and they find, they secure the Pelican, they find Chief, and they're facing down the Marines. I don't know how the Marines, in my opinion, look. They look like the Halo 4 and 5 Marines, and I don't like them very much. I very much am a fan of, like, the Halo Reach look and the Halo 2 Anniversary look. So, I think the Marines could have looked a little better, but for just general human appearance, I think it works. Then you have the standoff between Quan and the BR. The BR is the Halo Infinite BR. I don't like that. This is way before Halo Infinite, and they took a Halo Infinite weapon and gave it to this timeline. So I don't like that very much. Then we have the other Spartans. It was I think it was Vanok, Kai, and Liz. Vanok is the character I was talking about earlier. I like his voice. His actor's really nice. He acts more like Chief than Chief does. And that's saying something. Kai is sort of, I think, the polar, or the similar to Linda. And Liz, I think, would more fall under the lines of maybe Kelly.
Okay.
Maybe.
And you can do that.
No. New plan. Scuttle the ship.
Then,
You are going to
so
destroy the ship.
you have these Blue Team mirrors,
I'm going to die here.
and it sort of throws it for a loop. And then I'm gonna finish up, try to keep this under 25 minutes.
Warm things up.
The EMP at the very end that shoots down the Condor. I don't get it. It's a mass driver. It's meant to fire very small rounds, not EMPs. So what did it do? Just fire a concentrated magnetic pulse? I don't know how that works. Then you have the Forerunner EMP, which he touches the artifact, and it somehow de-EMPs the Condor, so it works again. And EMPs everything else around it. But the Spartans are fine. Hardened armor, maybe? I don't know. I know the Mjolnir system is armored, but I didn't expect it to actually, like, not take anything at point-blank range. Then, closing up, we have the sort of chief going AWOL kind of scenario. It's been done before, but it opens up a lot of potential avenues for what they can do with the show. I personally like it. I can't wait to see how it goes. Is it my favorite show of all time? No. Is it something that I will watch? Yes. Do I like how it's going? Kind of not. So, all in all, I'm going to rate Halo TV shows episode 1 out of 10. I'm going to say 6. It's high budget, but the new plot and story are going to take some getting used to. It's also going to take some major tweaking. I think what they should have done was done it on a per-release basis. So you have, like, an episode that releases, and then you have another episode that releases another, like, week. I don't know if they're actually doing that or not, so they can listen to feedback, but it's like, they really need to listen to the fans' feedback, or otherwise this show, because I don't know where the story's going, it's just gonna be something else. I want to thank you guys for watching. I know this kind of breakdown was not really, I didn't have any kind of background or anything like that to show you, like, what's going on, but these are just my thoughts on the Halo TV show while I had some background going on. With the new editing software that I'm getting installed, I will actually be able to not worry about playing and then taking my webcam at the same time. I'll be able to do both independently, so you guys won't have to see me pause and do things in the background. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you want, I will be continuing to review the Halo TV show as I find it. We'll be playing Halo Infinite and putting it up on the channel soon. So thank you guys again for watching. I will see you next time with the next review of the Halo TV show. If you want to stop by and watch the channel, I am a general channel, so I play a whole lot of games. I take requests. Swing by the channel. Drop a like and subscribe on some of the videos that you want to. I am just starting to post stuff, so most of the editing is terrible, most of it's uncut, but we'll be streaming, we'll be recording, and we'll be getting a little bit more refined as we go. So the quality of the videos will definitely improve. I thank you guys for stopping by again, and like I said, I will see you next time.